What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Binge Eater podcast presented by Epic Mealtime. I'm Harley Mornstein, a.k.a. the South Mouse. But I didn't mean to do that. You got to cut that. I'm here with Big Lynch
What up?
and Donnie Duckets. Hey, what up?
What up?
You know what's interesting about Blue Freezies?
What?
Blue Freezies, and I don't know if this is a Canadian thing. Blue Freezies were like an event for me. Blue Freezies were an event for me because I had Popsicles before I had Freezies, and I loved when I had my first Popsicle. I was literally, and this is true, I was literally like, "What the fuck? This is better than ice cream." I've always liked a fruity or like a jelly thing more than I liked like a chocolate or like a rich thing like that. So like a popsicle was so fire to me. And to this day, I love popsicles.
You're talking like a popsicle you break in half like on your table.
Yeah.
corner of your
Popsicle.
table.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Corner of your table. Yeah. So like popsicles were orange, they were red, they were purple, they were yellow, and I didn't like the yellow ones. They were normally
yes and
banana.
no, right? Yellow was like a specialty move. The
It
chocolate and the banana were kind of a separate product.
Yeah.
Popsicles were
it's true.
purple, orange, red. Was that
That's
it?
it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So purple, orange, red. I loved every popsicle. I did. So when I saw my first Freezy, and when you're like 7 and you get a Freezy, you are literally like, how do I eat this motherfucker?
Do they
The
have
fact-
Mr. Freeze.
the
in
fact-
US?
The fact that it was trapped inside that casing itself at 7, like you can't bite through that. Your teeth can't do it. There's nothing you could do. You need an adult with scissors. No adult's even giving you scissors. So I remember I would get Freezies, and when you're a kid, you're usually in the scenario where it's like you get to pick a Freezy. Here, have a Freezy. So you get there, and you're probably like a basic kid, like I was. You're like, red, gotta get that red, gotta get that red. If there's no red,
Orange.
yeah, I love orange, and what I love about orange is not a desired Freezy or popsicle to a lot of people. A lot of people don't with orange. Like, some people are just not about orange. I've always backed orange big time, so I'm happy to take orange Freezies. I really do love them. So yeah, orange, whatever. But what was crazy about Freezies was that there was blues and there was whites. And when you've literally had like 92 flavors your whole life of anything, you're curious now. You're like, oh, what's that? Definitely. For me, I was like, definitely not a white one. That looks like no flavor.
That's a banger. That's like the Arctic flavor,
Fucking amazing.
It's like cream soda.
It's amazing. All it takes for you when you're 7 to have the white flavor is to turn around and see like that one cool lifeguard with a white one. You're like, you got white? He's like, white's the best, dude. And
You're
then
like,
you turn around.
Corey, you like white?
Exactly. And then you turn around and you look at your friend. You're like, I wanted white, but there was none. White's the best. And the kid's like, yeah, I know. Corey gets white. So
Hey, Corey, what's your favorite color?
bro, that's how it happens, bro. If Corey was like, bro, strap these bombs to yourself and go do this mission, I'd be like, yes, Corey, you're cool. But anyways, guys, Corey's a fictional character, but we all know a Corey. So all this to say that I got a blue Freezy. I got a blue Freezy and I tried that and I was like, this is fucking amazing. And I got a white Freezy and I was like, this is fucking amazing. Those are like my favorites now. So then I was like, why aren't there blue popsicles? Why are white popsicles so rare? When you get the popsicles made by Popsicle, you're not getting a blue or a white.
No.
And those are S tier flavors. So to be a kid and be like, whoa, an S tier fucking flavor? Where have you been?
The worst is when you get like bootleg popsicles. Like you get some like store brand, like the grocery store brand, and they'll have blue and they'll have white, but they taste different.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
don't
or
quite hit the profile.
those stores do something. They give you like you'll get like a beige one in there. You get like a
Yeah.
beige popsicle.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're like,
yeah, yeah.
Who's
A
this
peach.
motherfucker?
Yeah, they're like, we made peach in our own lab.
So I thought about the blue and the white, and I'm like, it's really interesting that you can't get a blue and a white popsicle unless you get one popsicle, which is blue, white, and red all together. The triple threat of the Rocket Pop. And they're all great. They're all great flavors. What's up?
And God
Where's
bless
the blue
America.
popsicles at?
They're just
Where's
trying
the blue popsicles at?
They don't want to mess with the success of the rocket popsicle. They feel like they got to protect it,
But I still see Red out there living his life. Why do we all love red?
Must be some like psychological thing when you see the color red. And you're like,
You think so?
I think the color red is supposed to make you hungry. The color, I was reading this the other day. There's some colors that like are supposed to initiate hunger or make you feel like you desire. Imagine, look at Wendy's.
Wendy's, McDonald's, yeah, Pizza
you know what
Hut,
I mean? Like,
Domino's,
like
they all
red,
have a
yellow. That might be.
red.
I
I'm
think
not a
that's just to
scientist.
pull your vision. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I know that green and blue are like very important to the human psyche.
But what does that have to do with hunger though?
I thought red makes you
Yellow and orange are colors that
angry,
make
and
you
I
feel
thought
hungry.
yellow makes people like anxious if they're in a yellow room or something. I remember
Yellow and
reading
orange
this
are
shit a
colors
long
that
time
make
ago.
people feel hungry. The color red is associated with emotion and passion. And so if you see red combined with yellow and orange, they become passionately hungry.
Why wasn't that
And,
the podcast
and then you have
name?
Harvey's. Yeah.
Passionately hungry?
Yeah.
Red, yellow, and orange. We should actually design it should be. We do have red. We do have yellow. We're just missing orange.
We're just missing PT 141.
Well, no, we're gonna get that soon. I have I came across something. One of my favorite types of media the other day.
Pornography?
One of my favorite topics is what did you say?
I said pornography. You're like, I came across my favorite type of media.
No, that's not it. It was Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, talking about his diet. Right.
Yeah.
Every time an actor gets into these movies where they get jacked and ripped, you always get some type of breakdown of what they do to get jacked or ripped. They're in all the sort of muscle fitness, that type of stuff.
Remember
It's
the
real
Spartan
great
workout?
PR conversation. And the funniest thing about that nowadays is that there's a whole cottage industry that exists on the internet to debunk these guys, to be like, nah, bro, you think he's eating chicken, broccoli, and rice, and he looks like that? You're an idiot. And I'm curious if you look at this picture of Hugh Jackman, if you think he's natty or not, and if you think his diet can achieve what he's looking for at 54 years old.
I've been convinced since X-Men that he's not natty. So I think I saw the picture you're talking about.
He's pretty convinced. I mean,
Is it the one where he's like reclined in that chair? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple other ones. Now, to be fair, when you're shooting a movie or are releasing like promo pictures, there's a way to make yourself look better through editing, push-ups, pumps, all that stuff, of course. Do you know what I mean? But the amount of muscle these guys talk about putting on in such a period of time, because often when they're acting, they got to look one way and then look another way, unless their whole job is to be jacked all the time, which isn't typically the job of big actors, It's just so interesting. They're like, yeah, I put on 10, 20, 30 pounds of muscle in like X amount of weeks because I ate. And literally the answer is chicken, broccoli, and rice. That is the standard answer for the most part, and fish. And he makes like 10 jokes.
He
makes 10 jokes. He's like, I'm sorry to the chickens. I apologize. I didn't do juice. They actually bring it up in this interview. He's like, people accuse you. He's like, no.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What's interesting about that is it's something that they had to talk about because it has to be, people will ask it. So they need to go out and they need to answer it head on.
In 2023, they have to. But
exactly.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about you saying 2023 and Donnie, when you were like, even since the first Wolverine, I thought that, of course, I would bet my house that every single one of these guys, even the heroes that don't necessarily need it, like Iron Man out of his suit, all of these guys are taking a performance enhancing something in one way or another.
I'm not saying it's full gear, but they're upping their
Wolverine
testosterone.
Wolverine is full. This is full geared up.
Allegedly,
this is a full geared up guy.
Allegedly,
and I would say allegedly, and I don't know anything. I'm just looking at this and guessing. But here's what I'll say: this guy's 54 years old. I know what eating chicken and rice looks like, and I'm 30, mid 30s. I don't look like Hugh Jackman.
You're late 30s, but
I'm been doing not yet. Not yet. Actually, next year maybe. But I'm not even getting the results that he's getting here. So I know people have I know I spent good money on my results. I know that like what can be done, like, and I know that people's genetics are really different, but like what we're talking about here, when you look at this picture of this guy, this is a ton of really developed muscles everywhere, and he's vascular, and what's really crazy, exactly, super lean. Now he's 54. So we're going to go and say that he found out what steroids were and what they could be maybe at 38 when he did the first Wolverine movie, when he first did it. So when he found out at 38, he was like, oh, I didn't know. Maybe he didn't know. A lot of people don't know. And they started like, oh, it's like that? Well, but so you still have to, you mean you can't just take steroids and do nothing? So you still got to work out? Oh, like, well, okay. So yeah, we're not going to take a lot. Maybe it won't be whatever it is. He learned about that at 38. So when the questions are coming up now from like a younger generation who are like in their early 20s, and they're like, he's juiced up, and they're all on Twitter and they're like, juiced up. Wow, let me get that Wolverine gear. He's like, they don't know anything. I only learned what that was at 38. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Like now it's all available out there. Like the people these days, like I could look back at people at the gym when I was like in the 11th grade, and I was like, man, I remember when I was in the 11th grade, we're talking about like the year 2001. I went up to one of the most jacked, ripped dudes in my gym, and this is where I was at in like 2001. I was like, are you vegan? Because I remember a guy I was working out with, I was like, whoa, look at that guy's body. And a buddy of mine, he was like, he's probably vegan. I went up to him and I was like, are you vegan? And he was like, hell no, dude. Hell no. He's like, I eat horse 4 times a day. I eat tons of meat. I'm like, because your body's so tight. He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't eat a lot of this or a lot of that. And I look back now and I'm like, I was like 17 and went up to a guy on steroids, basically like, how'd you do it? And I
was it broccoli?
Yeah. And I wish he would have been like, I'm late for my injection. Get out of my way, fucker.
There is a technicality in all of this. And he isn't, in his mind, might not even be, it doesn't matter whether he's telling the truth, not telling the truth, who cares? I mean, if you were going to make millions of dollars to be in a movie role and you got to look good, like I personally would probably consider the same thing. But the technicality is that he's 54. TRT is a real thing as a man once you're over 40 years old, which is like testosterone replacement therapy that you could be prescribed by a doctor. Like you could be going to a doctor because once your T levels,
I wish you would say that.
Only if you're short.
But that's the way you kind of move around. If people really press you, which I don't think he's being pressed. They asked the question, he laughs it off. He's giving a real Hollywood type interview.
I hate it.
Like you,
and
I like
Hugh
Jackman.
I love Hugh Jackman. I know. I think he's a great actor, and I think he's a great Wolverine. And actually, I'm very happy that he's allegedly geared up for the role because him playing the role is important to me, and I want him to look fucking
sick,
geared up. I want him to look like fucking Wolverine. Yeah,
sick, dude.
Exactly. I want my heroes to look fucking sick. I want my twins to look like
by
they're on trend.
Jacked. Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Beer cold, my TV loud,
and my twins trend up.
Yeah, exactly.
So he said this, and I love this line. It's so funny to me when he's like, I love my job. I love being Wolverine. But I was told what side effects are of steroids, and I don't love the role that much. Stop. The fuck you think this is? 1987? You think this fucking 1987, like injecting the fucking steroids into a wrestler in an abandoned staircase? Hugh? No, bro. It's 2023. back knee, big head, little balls, all the shit that you thought were going to make you do a thing is different now. So the side effects of juice that he was like playing up, like, I don't want none of those. Bro, it's not 1987. This is medical technology. You are a fucking superstar. And because testosterone is something that can be prescribed to you, you're going to go and you're going to get excellent medicine. That's not going to fucking give you back knee or whatever. You're like, I don't want none of that. No, that's not, you're not going to, it wouldn't be noticeable. Secondly, he's not going on stage to pose and be like one of those guys. So it's not like he would have to consume like 700 milligrams of testosterone every fucking 2 days.
Did you talk about his meal plan though? Like, I mean,
his meal plan, it is very funny. Cause I like that it's calories. Calories are like what they're focusing on here.
That's the title. It's like, here you go. I eat
6,000 calories,
8,000 calories a day to get bulked up for Wolverine. He's ramping up calories. He's like, I got to get up to 8,000 a day.
For sure. But you also got to, I mean, he's utilizing them. Like his composition is insane.
Yeah. Like his body composition.
I'm saying he's so lean and he's taking in 8,000 calories a day. And that means he's burning like 12.
Well, first of all, like I would say that there's a process. Like I know, like touching on it myself, like before the fight, like there was a process of where I ate a lot of carbs in a day.
Yeah.
And then I went down into like a cut process where for like 8 weeks I had very little carbs. And then I did a refeed process after that where I started to eat a lot of carbs. And that's what I'm doing now leading up to the boxing match. So sitting here and being like, yeah, the 5,000 calories a day, I'd like more information than that, buddy. Like when I've been doing this for, oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I had on the other thing here, but I've been doing this like, now for 16 weeks. Not once did we count calories working with my guy. We didn't count calories once. It was all macros. I got all my protein from clean meats and, also from protein shakes. I got all my carbs from rice and athletic carb powder if I needed it on a workout day. And I got my essential fats from like an avocado or a handful of nuts every day. So like that was the important mission was that. There was never a time where I was like trying to reach my calories. Talking calories isn't how you got that chest and like those arm veins and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you eat super clean.
Took I forget the guy's name, but and I was never able to pronounce it. But the guy from Silicon Valley who ended up being a Marvel, the Indian guy. That got insanely.
Oh yeah, from Silicon Valley. Yeah,
that guy lost the Natty or not conversation in about 2 seconds.
But he actually, I don't know,
crazy.
He's just like not only is it. I just think it's not only like one steroid here. It could be multiple steroids through a time, especially when you're 54. You want to get a steroid. You want to get a steroid that's going to make you big and strong, and you want to get a steroid later that's going to rip you up and keep the muscles that you earned. And whatever those are, I actually don't know what they are. But at the same time as he's doing those, you'd have to be taking testosterone as well.
Hold on. We don't condone doing juice, by the way. Only by our superheroes.
Yes. No one. Don't do steroids.
Don't do it just to like go and go to work.
I actually think I don't think anyone should be on steroids unless you're going to be a Marvel superhero or you're a twin. If you're not,
I mean, look at us. We're 3 dudes that are on the back end of our 30s, and we all lift, and we've all been at various different muscular sizes throughout our lives. If anyone should be, like wanting to be on juice, it would be us.
If you're at home and you're thinking about taking steroids, bro, you better be fucking boxing the sauce boss if you're gonna. You better have a good reason to get geared and juiced up, and that's getting in the ring with me.
I don't think people realize that we're a fitness podcast. Like that's where we're at. Like we're here giving advice about shit we don't know fucking anything.
Yeah,
about,
fitting this entire pizza in my mouth.
Oh, shit.
Yo, no joke. Since we're talking about pizza, I ate 2 pizzas for dinner.
Just so you know,
I
like we
ate
weren't
2
talking
entire
about
pizzas.
we weren't
for
even
dinner.
talking about pizza. Someone said pizza once.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
pizzas.
now that we're
From
on
where?
pizza, I ate 2
From
fucking
where?
pizzas
From
from the
where?
place
Pizza.
that brought you the free slices when you were in line.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I bought. I
Pizzeria
like
900. We could say that because they brought me free
So-
slices in line. Good for them.
number 900, and
You love that
I got home and I was like,
Just so you know, Lynch, context, 2 pizzas. The pizzas are extremely thin. You could literally take one of the pizzas and squish it in. You could fold that whole pizza up and eat it.
That. The
Yeah,
question
yeah.
is,
No,
do you put
I-
a salad in the middle of the pizza and fold it up and eat it. Is the real question.
That would probably be a
No.
great place to put their salad on their
See?
pizza.
You
so
see
we
the vision
made
now.
it.
You're seeing the vision now, bro.
This
You're
was a
seeing
hybrid.
it.
This was a hybrid meal where I picked up pizza, but we made our own salad.
But you didn't put the salad in the pizza though.
I didn't. I ate the salad separately, and I ate 2 entire pizzas.
People don't realize we're opening Big Lynch's pizzas and salads in the next 6 months. If you guys just support the channel, like, comments,
You should get a food truck going,
subscribe.
and then we could take the podcast on tour and feed people at the same time.
Pizzas and salads.
You should get a
Together
food.
and what?
You should get a food truck, and when people come up, you be like, "What you want, food?"
We should take. We should.
You gotta
Harley,
do it.
we should
It's
take
gotta
the
be
money.
you.
Take the money from your next boxing.
Calm down,
match.
Jew.
The 200.
Take the Harley. We said, take the money. What are you, my brother?
Take the money from your $250,000 boxing match, and we're gonna buy a
because he
fucking.
listens. He can hear
Yeah,
this.
exactly. That.
Sorry,
We're
whatever
gonna buy
you
a
say.
mobile podcast studio and food truck for Lynch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I'll
sick.
drive across
We're like
country to
talking
meet you
over
guys.
sizzling. Oh, there's
We
not much
need to
sizzling.
do it in person though, very badly. Like I'm dying to do it in person, where we're all together, we're all sitting down having a little chit chat, because then I can fuck.
Donnie's in a
knock you
poo
guys out.
shiesty Mac.
Yeah, I can
Donnie's
knock
in a
out
poo
Donnie,
shiesty
knock you out and end the podcast immediately.
Yo, honestly, we'll go.
You just want to
fucking-
eat Big Macs in front of people.
Yeah, I keep talking your shit, bro. Exactly. I'll fucking smack
I'm
you in
gonna-
the face with a Big Mac live.
I'm gonna
Podcast.
crack a Terry's orange on your forehead.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna take it from you and eat it.
In the event that I win my fight, I'd be like, my next fight, I challenge my cousin right now, and then you got to come in the ring with gloves, and we got to start boxing right away.
Yeah, that would win the event. Actually, I can't believe. Like, I know we keep talking about this, but I have to just hammer it home. You are literally boxing in a month, and I just don't even think we've been talking about it enough.
We have not
the
been
craziest
talking
part.
about it enough.
We
If we're
haven't
not gonna
even-
talk, like, who the fuck's gonna talk about it if it's not us?
This is like
Well,
the one
no.
time. This is the one time in the day where I don't think about it.
Exactly. it's like
I
we're
lie in
talking-
bed and I'm like, do you know how much I smoke now?
I actually have been.
I smoke a whole joint, and as soon as it's
Like
done, I'm like, I looked at Donnie and I was like, didn't hit. I got to do another one.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy like smokes a joint, looks at me, and he was like, now I gotta do that again. I was like, what's wrong? It didn't take. And he looks at me, he's like, didn't take. It didn't take.
That's fucking. You gotta start doing bong rips just to feel something, you know.
Yeah, you gotta do bong rips in between hits of your
In
joint.
between it, Jeff packing bulls between it.
No, I was
Just
thinking
to
after.
cope with the fact that you're fighting a WWE superstar in like 4 weeks.
Cope with the fact that you're fighting a guy that could do a backflip without a running
Yeah.
start.
I think personally is that if you won your fight and you did a backflip, that would win the whole event right there. If you could learn, you should be learning how to do a backflip right now, because that would be 10 on 10 clip guaranteed. Best clip
With
ever.
someone Harley's height to do a backflip, you'd have to get his fucking feet like 17 feet off the ground.
Would it still
No,
be cool?
I have
Would it be
to-
cool if I
whoever
showed up
wins-
and spotted him? Like did like the
Whoever
spotting move?
whoever wins, I think the loser has to like come and sneak back into the ring at one point and smash the winner in the back with a chair while they're getting
Yeah.
interviewed.
Yeah, the classic style.
But then people will be like, is it real? Amir was like, could I ask you something? He's fucking wild. He's like, can I ask you something? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I don't mean like, you don't need to tell me if it's a secret or anything. But like, are the boxing matches scripted? And I was like, what do you mean are they scripted? And he was like, is it scripted? Are you really going to go fight this guy? And I was like, yeah. He's like with no helmet and everything? I was like, yeah, bro, like last Creator Clash, you think that was scripted? He was like, I don't know. People always say that the Jake Paul fights are scripted. I'm like, no, like
you're like, well, yeah, that's true.
I'm like, fights being rigged in boxing is something that's like been a part of boxing since the beginning of time. I'm like, but if you like fix a boxing match, like this is a federal issue. Like I'm dealing with the FBI now, and you
this
think
guy's
like
trying to get high and he can't even do it with one joint. You think he's fixing a boxing match? Like, come on, bro.
You think Dad didn't go in there and beat the shit out of that guy? You thought that was a bit? Like if wrestling looked like that, wrestling ratings would be fucking sky high.
Oh, wrestling's killing it though. I heard they're trying to start gambling in wrestling. Is that true?
What do you mean gambling?
Like they're trying to figure out a way to get gambling to be able to gamble on wrestling.
How can you gamble on things that are actually scripted?
You can make, that's the thing. They're trying to figure that out. I was listening to this. I was reading it somewhere that's a real conversation of how they can integrate gambling into wrestling, and that's
going to be
so crazy.
That would be a quick conversation for me.
Well, yeah, because it's like, how well do you trust these two wrestlers who are going to go out there?
Well, no, it's also the ability. It's the ability to corrupt. So if you're going to have if these things are scripted, that means somebody's setting the outcome, and if somebody's setting the outcome, that means they could forward that information to somebody who's betting.
Look at the chat right now.
You know what I mean? If one guy's fixing the result, then why wouldn't he just feed that information to the guy?
Maybe there's a way to somehow do it where if you can really control the information, which is obviously very difficult to do.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I could still send it to my second cousin's roommate and take a cut. Like, I don't know. The whole thing is fucked.
But they're legitimately doing this. This is not like they're being serious.
Yeah, listen, there's a way they could do that. It can work. It just seems like there's just so many loopholes for people to.
It seems like
you would have to lock the script in like a safe and only let them look at it.
No. You literally have to have two outcomes. How jokes is this?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? You loaded up that bong right now?
No, that's the Modern Warfare candle.
You have to have two outcomes. That's it. Two winners. And that part has to be given to both wrestlers, and the wrestlers are told before they go out what the final outcome is right then and there. But I know how these prop bets on wrestling can be insane. So I wonder if it's things like you could bet on, are they going to pull out a chair?
Yeah.
Or is he how many people are going to interrupt the fight? Who's going to come running in? But what's weird about that is if you're like really conscious of wrestling and the writing, it's like a show, like an anime. The things that you want to happen or truly would love to happen can happen. And if they don't, you know why it didn't and what would happen. So, for example, when I saw Sami Zayn fighting Roman Reigns in Montreal, I wanted Sami to beat Roman. And I don't know if I would have bet on it, but I believed that he could have. But if he didn't, I knew that Kevin Owens was going to come in and help. It was something that I knew would happen because I know wrestling and it's like anime and there are some formulas to it. And these two best friends got into a fight 2 months ago. So it only makes sense that he would run in for him now. Like the writing
But isn't wrestling like famously one of those things where the storylines change at the last second? Like, isn't Vince crazy? Isn't like but isn't it constantly evolving? Like they don't lock it in.
The thing is, when you gamble,
are they?
The thing is, when you gamble with everything else, I guess what I'm trying to say is when you gamble with everything else, truth is stranger than fiction, and wrestling is fiction. So it's not like there's not like a truly anything can happen mentality. The things happen for a reason. Like whereas in football, hockey, basketball, like anything can happen. This not anything.
They're getting that gambling money, you know. They got to get in because it's obviously huge.
Highlight
only ducats if you get this going.
Highlight.
Highlight Meilenstein? Highlight Meilenstein?
Who's gonna bet on the Duckett Lynch golf tournament?
Oh, bro, you get so fucked up. It's so crazy. In fact, I'm gonna get a green screen. I'm gonna get a green screen and constantly be at a different hole in a different famous golf course every single podcast, because that's where the vibes I want to put out.
No, I want to see the trick competition on a skateboard down 6 steps.
Down
six that's steps. Crazy. No, it's gotta be flat ground, like
or 4. Well, I'll do 3 to 4 steps.
Okay,
6
3.
is a lot.
3.
He's gonna blow out ACL. Fucking kick his knee. He's done.
Whoa, I don't know if that's part of the rules in a skateboarding competition.
When you have a skateboard, there are no rules. It's a weapon, in fact.
It's
he knows that.
Your favorite skater is Mike Vallely.
Yeah, you're gonna headbutt someone and fucking
yeah.
Hugh Jackman's meals, real quick, by the way, are black bass, 2,000 calories, Patagonia salmon, 2,100, 2 chicken burgers, which is like, what do you mean chicken burgers?
I love this.
Fried chicken or what? And then he said 2 grass-fed sirloins, 1,100 calories each.
Here's a challenge for you. Would you blow Hugh Jackman?
Yes.
All right. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. No, would you blow Hugh Jackman to acquire his body? So when you swallow his cum, you gain his physique.
Do you know how mad I'd be if I blew him, got his body, and found out his dick was smaller than mine? I'd be like, smaller than mine? Bro,
you would have known already because you've been working on it. You've been working on it.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'd be like, but I'd be like, now that it's on me, now that it's on my height, am I still my height though, or do I become like 5'11" or whatever?
You retain your dick, you retain your height, gain his.
I become Huge Jackman.
Huge Jackman.
I'm Huge Jackmanstein.
You're Dr. Huge Jackmanstein.
Dr. Huge Jackmanstein! No! That's so good. Dr. Huge Jackmanstein! I've reached my final form. I'm gonna sniff steroids. I'm Huge Jackmanstein. Where's my chicken burgers?
Bring me a sirloin.
And I want them grass fed.
Donnie doesn't even realize he's tying back in. He's bringing Tony Huge and fucking Connor back into the conversation, because Connor famously made a whole video about drinking a guy's cum to increase his testosterone.
And let me catch Donnie up. By the way, the guys at home listening, we're talking about some stuff we spoke on the last couple episodes about the Thailand guys and the YouTuber that passed away and all the lady boys attached to the entire scenario.
Go to the episode.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
It wasn't the last one. It was the one before.
No, it was episode 24.
Listen to them all. But I did want to say, I want to catch Donnie up. Donnie, just so you know, behind the scenes, me and Lynch are still talking about this shit like on the dailies. Baby, please.
I assumed it wasn't dead for you guys.
Oh no, quite the opposite. Julie got in the car and I was listening to something that Lynch sent me. It was Tony Huge, and it was like reasons why Americans should move to Thailand. And he was there and he was like, $1.50. You could get a bodybuilder friendly meal of chicken and rice. You want to, and like, she gets in the car and she's like, are we listening to Dr. Huge podcast right now? And I'm like, no. He's actually like he's actually saying some good shit here. Listen for a second. I'm like, listen, he's saying some good shit. Just listen. About Thailand. And then she's like, okay. And then so I raised the volume and he goes, set aside about $80 per week for your massages daily. And she's like, turn this shit off. And I was like, no. He was not talking about hand job massages literally just until now. Before that, he was actually saying things that how good the gyms were and stuff.
I kind of just want to go do it. Like, we did the docuseries about you boxing. I want to go to Thailand and just link up with Dr. Tony Huge.
After my boxing match,
Yeah.
I want to go to Tony Huge, and I want him to inject me and get me prepared to compete in a bodybuilding contest in Thailand. I want to give him 4 months.
I like it.
4 months, and I want him to turn me into a bodybuilder.
Savage, yeah.
And I want to try, and I want to compete out there where I'm definitely not going to be the leanest guy at all. Might not even have the biggest muscles.
You're gonna win women's bodybuilding.
I'm going to be tall. Not even. I'm going to be tall. My legs are going to be so white, but I want to do it.
I have something that's happening in my world. I know you guys don't really give a shit about sports unless it's boxing related.
Whoa.
Wrong.
Whoa.
Wrong.
Whoa.
I'm wrong. Why?
Wrong.
Whoa.
Wrong.
How am I wrong?
Do you see how many wrestling chairs I have behind me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The one where you can't bet on that sport? Okay, sure.
For now.
Have you guys been seeing do you follow the NBA at all? Did you get caught up in the story on Ja Morant? Has this come across your desk at all in the last week? Because this is a very big deal. This guy who's a young star, probably he just got a Nike deal, going to get a signature shoe. He's a big deal. In fact, I linked you a highlights clip. Just watch the first clip and you'll understand what I'm talking about. He's just a sick, the young demographic loves him. He's just awesome. And he's just been getting super caught up in the last little while, many incidents, and it all really ended in the last while where he pulled a gun out on Instagram at a strip club, and then a picture leaked of him at this strip club. And what I really want to get to is this specific part of it. This picture is so wild.
Yeah, it's a great
picture. I'm just curious if you've ever done this in your life or seen this in your life, but this picture
the money all over the floor?
There's just every surface is covered in cash. There's no maybe there's a little bit of a table there that's sort of a half of it is missing it. And there's just him with his shirt off by himself with a stripper and looks like a security guard maybe. And there's all this food.
That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part.
That's what got me interested. I'm I like all the other stuff. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into the food aspect of this.
There's money. Well, what's interesting is there's money everywhere. This is apparently $50,000 in cash, but it looks like it must be all singles in $50K, and it looks like he emptied out the entire $50K. Every inch of the floor is covered. It looks like if you saw this in a movie, you would think it looks fake because every inch is covered too much, except for the part where they have these plates there, big plates. It looks like that was one looks like it could have been a pizza, and a whole one is a whole ass looks like a Middle Eastern dish. Various items on it. Maybe you got some.
It's hickory smoked wings, 2 platters of chicken strips and fries. A steak.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's what they according to an insider.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Oh,
that's on the writer.
That's
2 platters of chicken strips and fries. And a steak. He got
my question for you.
He got that huge Jackmanstein steak at the strip club.
yeah.
That 32-ounce
30 ouncer.
baby.
He got the 30 ouncer at the strip club.
And it's funny that you say that I don't like sports, which is mostly true to an extent, or catching up on news. I don't know the athletes' names for the most part.
Yeah.
But I absolutely know this guy, and I know about all these stories. I just did not see this picture. Yeah. This is. I go on Twitter.
Okay, but I'm asking this because I want to know, have you gone to the strip club to eat?
One time.
That's my question. Okay.
Source to sex, I had to go and get the wings because everyone was like, the wings are so good. They're so good. I went to Source to Sex. Guys listening, it is it's a strip club in the suburbs that I grew up in. It is empty. You could go in there. There could be one stripper with one guy and a cook. And you're like, can I get the wings?
And he's making frozen wings that are definitely overhyped by everyone. Just because it's a funny thing to say.
No. It's because on Wednesdays they were cheap at lunch. And so a lot of people would go and get them because wings are low key, high key, a very expensive item to order. They always have been. These days, if you want to get 12 wings, you're looking at $30. Like
Yeah.
if you want to get 12 wings, it's $29.99. Like
No.
that's
That's
where we're at.
a
Yeah.
lot.
How much do you think wings would cost for $12?
15
I mean, for
bucks,
12 wings.
maybe. I
What?
don't know. Like $15 or something like that.
You with your Alberta prices, everything's skewed over there on the frontier.
Like those wings were like outside. They were living. yesterday.
And one
Those
thing
wings.
Harley's describing the suburb he's from, but Montreal is actually very well known for their strip clubs. Many people will have. There's a lot of bachelor parties that go down here, and when I
But
went to
this isn't
university-
one of them.
This isn't one of them.
Yeah, this
is
isn't a
Utah.
suburb. If you go downtown Montreal, yeah, you can get like lap dances are $5, and just for context,
No, but you could actually there's a buffet.
But just so people know, even like context, Montreal, your stripper, she'll have her boobies out, and she'll have her open
Boobies.
vagina. Her vagina will be there out as well, displayed, and you get a full bar service. I know a lot of places in the USA is if they're serving alcoholic drinks, then the girls wear pasties and underwear. But in Montreal, they'll be like butt naked and full service. And I remember like a full service bar. I remember being at a strip club when I was like 20 with a friend of mine from Calgary, actually. Oren, do you remember this guy? And this stripper like took his straw out of his drink and like put it inside her during her little set, and then took it out and then like put it in his drink.
I actually have PTSD right now. I legitimately have PTSD because I wouldn't call myself a strip club guy. Now, when I lived in Montreal, I'd have friends come into town, and I would say like most people, like that's one of the activities they'd want to do. They'd want to go to the strip club, and I'd be like, sure, like your buddies in town, you cater to their wants and what they want to do, right? And Montreal is a party city, but we went to the strip club, a famous one. I think it's closed down now, and we were sitting there, and I'm uncomfortable. Like I'm already like I don't like people touching me. You know,
anyone. He's like that with anyone. No, it's not just
like,
it's
Harley-
not because
Harley
they're
touched my-
strippers.
No, it's anyone. Yeah, Harley was stoned at this restaurant we were at. We walked out, and for some
I
reason
stoned
he
my
thought it was-
entire life. Oh yeah,
No,
you
but this
were
time-
talking.
This time you thought it was sick.
I flicked Lynch's lip while he was talking. And like actually the second, like this is why you probably should get into boxing, is the second like I touched his lip, I also instantly got hit on the side of the head. Like the second I hit this, I also, and I knew I was going to be attacked when I did it, but I didn't think I would be attacked
What were you
right
thinking
away.
when you did
It was
that?
almost, I was fully fucking with you.
Oh, okay.
It was like I literally thought of like the most fucked up thing to do to you at that moment while you were talking.
So that's the context of my life. And I went there, and we were sitting there, and the stripper comes out. She's doing her dance, and I'm wearing this toque, and
Oh my God, I remember this now. Yeah.
and she's trying to grab the toque off my
She
head. and
wants it.
I'm not scared.
She wants
Let's
it.
explain what a toque is.
It's a beanie, or a
beanie,
winter hat.
whatever,
She's
yeah.
taking it, and I remember he's holding it down on his head. He's holding it down. He is not consenting, and she's literally trying to tug a word off his head.
Literally, and I let her win because it was uncomfortable. It was like a long time. She's trying to take the toque off my head. I think
Like,
she
yeah,
was
like the
sick.
bouncer's
You're
gonna
like,
come
I'm
over.
gonna get thrown out for this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, all right, I guess so. And she proceeds to rub her area with it, and I'm like, you can keep that. That's yours now. Like that's good. And everyone's laughing at me. It's a hilarious moment because they all know me. I'm like, I don't live in a world where I want.
We all know he's scared of good pussy.
Bro, I actually
And,
hate strip clubs.
I never-
So do I.
I was like, nah.
I hate strip clubs. I'm uncomfortable around the strippers. I'm not happy for them. I'm not happy
either.
for us.
Oh, I'm happy for
I hate-
them. I don't.
I
I
hate
don't
the
look
way
at
the
it like
guys
that.
are treating them. Like I hate
It's
the
also very
whole thing.
aggressive, especially in
Yeah.
Montreal. They're super,
Yeah.
super aggressive in Montreal. It's like they'll walk over, they'll open your cigarette pack and take a cigarette out, and be like, hey, how you
Yeah,
doing?
and they'll
Like,
sit on your
checking in.
lap and be like, "You owe me money now."
But we all definitely have friends who are strip club guys, for sure. It's just none of us, but it looks like this guy, this NBA player, is pretty into it, and he's having a full course meal.
And didn't he pull a gun? Didn't he pull a gun on some kids?
Yeah, all that stuff is like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that went down. He just got an 8-game suspension. It's all been like confirmed. He had to step away. His team is second, is a good team. Like they have real potential this year, and he's legitimately a superstar. Like the guy is a baller, and he had to step away to be like, I gotta get my mind right. And so it's like a lot of like chatter about what's going on, but the NBA officially gave him like an 8-game suspension. But he had a bunch of incidents where he like pulled a gun on a 17-year-old after a basketball game because they threw a ball at his head, allegedly. And then there's, a few other incidents where after a game, his crew, someone claimed that there was like a red sort of dot that showed up. There's a bunch of like stuff.
Yeah, it was people
him.
apparently pointed a laser at him. He pointed a laser.
No.
He was in a car with people and
allegedly.
someone
We don't know.
allegedly, someone from the car.
They can't confirm it. So he hasn't been charged with anything. Nothing like official has been charged. All I can say is that he's one of my favorite guys to watch in the NBA. That's hands down. Like I would be super upset if he didn't come back this year because his team's like second place in the West. And if you look at his highlight clip, I forwarded you guys, like just look at the first thing he does. You're like, wow, you need to watch this guy. This guy needs to play. And so I just want to really get to the bottom of like, I guess we're not strip club guys, so we're not eating in the strip club. We're not comfortable doing that. But, in Montreal, there was a buffet at a strip club you can go to that a lot of people would do for like a cost-effective way to go and eat lunch.
And cost-effective, on the topic of wings, you're right. A half pound of wings is $15, but a half pound of wings is about 5 to 6 wings. So like if you want to get 10 to 12 wings, it'll be $30. And 5 wings and French fries is $19 at Buffalo Wild Wings. That's expensive. That's expensive because chicken wings, like literally 8 out of 10 times are bad.
And I only
they're not a good.
And it's all skin and bones. Like
I only eat flats, to be honest with you. So like I don't even get to eat a half of those. Like I might get a bad batch. It's like
I do. You know what's good? You know what's good about eating wings with me is I'm content either way. So if someone has a preference, I'll do the other. I'm totally cool. I used to love Drumsticks by far because I was like, who wants to deal with bullshit? It's already a messy meal. And then I just learned how to consume flats, and it's so much easier to strip the bone, and there's less cartilage, and I just like those better in a way now. But I still got my love for the drumsticks, so it's no problem here. We're all good.
Where do you rank honey garlic?
Overall, by the way, I do not give wings enough love because of how much they cost. And I just like I could have wings more in my life.
It's like the cost benefit ratio is off.
Yeah, I'm gonna start having more chicken wings. Like I see like here, if you get more chicken wings like in bulk, if you're willing to spend more money, like you can get a like.
You're not answering the most important.
I know, but I'm going to. But for like, let's say you were doing a fucking like a football draft at your Jewish summer camp in Kelowna, BC. Do you get this 200 wing special right here? $229 out of a fucking garbage bag? Woo! Okay, you said how is honey garlic? I think that's a great question.
Where do you rank it? Because I have a very strong opinion on this.
Okay, well this is interesting. So
who's honey garlic?
Let me you want just a simple answer? You want me to cut to the chase and just give you an answer?
Basically, does it rank above hot wings? Hot is the standard for everyone.
No. Buffalo? Does it rank above Buffalo? Like
honey
a buffalo
garlic
wing?
to me is number one wing.
You're saying like you asking me if it ranks more than a buffalo? A buffalo?
The
wing?
regular classic, like
yeah, but it's a buffalo, right?
Like here's
tastes like Frank's.
Here's a hot wing.
The regular schmegula.
Regular schmegula. Right? That's what we're talking about?
Yeah, regular fucking Frank's.
Regular digula.
Yeah,
The
that hot.
That's buffalo. That's like a buffalo sauce, right?
Sure,
Frank's?
whatever.
You know,
that's what
this is a regular.
Okay, that regular digula. I gotta tell you,
yeah.
You're going to a brand new place you've never been to. People are like, you got to try the wings. You get there, and they're like, you want wings? And you're like, yeah. You're gonna be like, oh, can I change it to honey garlic?
Yeah.
Honey garlic is not a standardized taste across the
exactly.
globe.
I agree.
Like buffalo wings are. I know if I got buffalo wings, like I know when you asked me honey garlic right off the bat, I was gonna say top 3. Like top 3 for sure.
Yep.
But what I do when I get wings is I prefer to get no sauce and then control each wing's dip. And a lot of places don't fuck like that. A lot of places don't want you to do that.
No.
And that bothers me. But how do you feel about dry wings? Where does that rank for you?
A salt and pepper wing is money.
Yeah, I think I prefer those these days.
That's kind of like
I don't
dry
like-
ribs.
Yeah, but I don't like how messy wings get. Like they're so like I don't like
It's a
that
fucking mess.
feeling.
Me
I hate
either.
that.
I don't like eating with my hands. So chicken wings for me, people get all excited about wings. Personally, I don't like eating with my hands, and I like thick, lean
You like dick?
meat. Yeah, I like dick, but I like thick, lean meat. So like, I'm not so into wings. It's a lot of skin and bones and sauce and
You like
and
chicken
eating with
thigh?
They
my
have to be
hands.
crispy. I like
You like-
extra crispy wings. That's
I
what ask for.
love a chicken thigh these days.
Crispy. And
I used to
dark
be a
chicken.
breast boy, and I love that chicken thigh. It is like I
Well,
really
so it's
slept on that my
juicier.
whole life.
It has more flavor to it. It's got that vitamin K actually, which is very good for you.
Slept on it my
That
whole
vitamin
life.
R.
Yeah, I do like a honey garlic. I've just gone to way too many places where honey garlic. I was like, this is just a flavor. Like I could go to a place of like honey garlic and they give me something. I'm like, this has got like Chinese vibes to it for some reason.
Yeah,
This one.
yeah. It's like soy sauce.
I'm willing to risk it. It might be the only kind of food I'm willing to risk because I just like a honey garlic more than anything. And
You know what
that's
I'm not? You know what I'm
automatic.
not that big on?
What?
I'm not that big on barbecue.
Nah. Yeah.
I find barbecue to be like I'd honestly rather take a nothing wing and dip it into ranch or a blue cheese than take a barbecue
Don't ever
wing.
bring up ranch again on this podcast, bro. We've already had enough ranch talk.
Yo,
Didn't
I'm,
you- I said ranch is back for me.
That's
I've-
true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you
I've
made a case
literally
for ranch
gotten
ice
a
cream.
text.
Ranch ice cream. You're in. He's all in on ranch ice cream.
Would you?
I
get?
got a text today from a friend that was like, "Yo, shout me out on the podcast." Fucking,
$500.
I'm
But if
I'm
it's
loving
someone
ranch.
if it's someone I know, bro, I'm going in on their ass. Who is this?
Yeah,
Who said
let's
this
hear
to
it.
you?
it's
Let's hear what they gotta
it's someone I know.
Oh, someone from
Okay.
your work who actually listens to our art. Not like
No.
not like an old friend of mine who's tired of my shit on the internet.
But yeah, no. This is our biggest fan, and he's down with the ranch.
Is he French?
Down at the ranch?
No, he's not French. He's a
Oh,
fucking
that's a good
Jew.
question.
Again, bro?
Another Jew.
And I don't know.
Oh.
No.
And I don't know.
think you do.
Dox
No,
him.
you definitely don't know
Who's
him.
hidden ass
Dox
Jew we don't
him,
know
bro.
about? Yeah.
Yeah, who's this Jew you got that we don't know about, bro? Dox him.
Sounds like a lie.
Tell
I
him we're
got-
coming to his
I
wedding.
got a
bro.
ranch Jew
Tell him I'm coming to his wedding with a sword.
with a sword.
I'm coming
And-
to his wedding with. Tell him I'm coming to his wedding with a sword.
I tell him I'm coming on a boat.
Tell him I'm coming to his wedding with a sword, and I'm coming by what? I'm coming with that ghost.
I do
Eat
want
a
to shout
banana
out.
split.
I do want to shout out one thing on the wing conversation. If you're ever in Toronto, we fuck with this place heavy. Go to Allen's. Allen's on the Danforth. We shot a whole episode there. Great, cool owner. They make a different type of wing. It's only one option. It's only one option there. It's like a rooster wing, which it's a bit bigger, and the meat is like a bit like Donnie explained. The meat seems a bit nicer than the regular.
They're
You know,
cr-
those-
and
yeah.
they're
you
outside.
get that
They're
black
crisp.
shit. You get like that black shit in a wing, and you eat it. It's like
Yeah.
it's like weird black gunk when you bite into
Yeah.
it. It's like all
Yeah,
like
like,
skin.
It's not meat.
No, I fuck with these guys heavy. They also make a great burger.
These are out there for debatably best wings in Toronto. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's how I heard of it.
Big shout out, and they also welcomed us into the restaurant. And Harley threatened to suck some guy's dick there, and that was just and they laughed. So
That's how we know they're down. We filmed another one of
Yeah.
these things, and I was like, bro, you like Star Wars? He's like, not much. I was like, you better suck my dick, then. And then they called Lynch like the next day. They were like, was anything weird? We feel weird about the footage that was, and Lynch is like,
Yeah.
no, it's all it's gonna be to go together in the edit. And the guy was like, I'm
I don't
worried.
Want the sucking part.
That's like we've done like so many videos, but there have been like 5 or 6 times where the person doesn't fully grasp me. I do make it clear like that, like I am away, and that like I'm extra going to
And
be
so
a
do I, by
particular
the
way. Yeah.
I,
And that's it. But just for some people, no matter what you say, that's how it is. A perfect example was we went to Japan with Square Enix, and they took us around Japan, and I sat with this girl there that we worked with. Shout out Nikki, and she was cool as hell, and like, but she was cool as hell, so I was like comfortable, and I was all like, and I'm gonna, and I'm doing all my little things, and I'm like, she's like, tomorrow when the things, I'm like, shut up, no, we don't talk about the episode until it's game time, and unless it's game time, we don't care. And she's like, we're gonna be tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, but we're gonna get that 2 a.m. ramen, and I could tell like the next day that it was like work time. I saw that she felt like she was concerned because people like they put their jobs on the line when they agree to work with a YouTuber. And I know countless stories of YouTubers that have come or just the day before are like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. Like YouTubers do that shit. Big YouTubers, I know about big YouTubers that have locked down filming days. Things are ready to go. It's going to happen. There are people who are paid for the day. There are like 4 people who put their jobs on the line being like, this YouTuber so-and-so is going to make a great video. And then the YouTuber is just like, yeah, I don't want to come. Now, he's just a YouTuber. He's just a person. He could just be like some fucking loser in like a basement with like e-girl lighting and Marvel fucking posters on the wall, even though he's a grown man, and he decides like he doesn't want to do it that day and he doesn't do it. Those people do that. I've never done that because I've always been aware that this is someone's job, someone's counting on us, and we said we would do it. So I remember the day that like filming happened, and we filmed and we did this great video and we all had a good time. YouTube ended up putting it in like, we got like branded collab of the year or something with that Final Fantasy shit. And I remember as soon as filming was done, like she was like, they did it. And now that like that was done, we were also like, it was just chill, or everything was chill. And actually since then I like still speak to Nikki. I linked up with her when I was in LA. Like right before pandemic.
That I'm like a fairly normal person. Like if
yeah, when it was you
sober them a bit.
No, not
like
just
a
that.
regular guy,
not just that. Even that stuff's important because we can't all look like weirdos. Like when I would go to meetings with my brother back in the day, one time he forgot his wedding ring, and I was like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Like we're both walking in there now. You have no wedding ring. Like neither of us are married, dude. We're gonna look fucking weird, man. We're gonna look
I get
like
on calls and I have pictures of my daughter like taped in my head, and I'm like, just so you know, I have a child.
He's like, the kid kept me up all night.
You're wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Wear a tie around my head.
Yeah, but and this Final Fantasy collabo brings up a really excellent point that I don't think I ever asked to you, Lynch, and to the people at home. You guys can get in on this debate also. Sure. It's a little game of, was this racist or not? Donnie watched me into the Final Fantasy video, and at the end of the video, I go up to the guy who was so great, the director of the game, and I went up to him and I grabbed him and I picked him up and I was like, and I'm like shaking around this man. And he's like,
you're
laughing.
Big and white,
and Donnie was like low-key racist vibes, like just weird. And I was like, why? He was like, you're a big ass white guy. You picked up this little guy and you're like shaking him around. You guys don't speak the same language.
Yeah, you're like, look how cute they make him over here.
Listen,
I did not say that.
I know.
You made that.
I added that.
You made it racist. That's you watching like a girl on TikTok and dancing, and you're like, "What is this, porno? Why am I horny?"
I guess we're on the same page because I was watching this video.
The shoe fits.
I was going through this content and I was thinking, oh, that was a good meal. I was maybe going through my camera roll or something. I watched the videos, and I was like, I think I even have a picture of you picking him up, and in my head I go, I didn't go, that's racist. I go, a little disrespectful.
What I noticed there was, I know what it's like to be talent. So even though I own the business, it is almost beneficial for me sometimes to approach as talent, and then later, after, I'll hear what was said and we'll have the conversation. But it's not me having the conversation necessarily because I'm just a weird retarded YouTuber. So a lot of these scenarios, like Lynch will be the person and he's talking, and then maybe he'll tell me later what things were like or on the spot. But at that time, like, really, I am also trying to be creative, or we're going to film. I'm trying to be funny. I network as a person. I am good at making lots of people feel comfortable, but there is an element of entertainment when I'm on. And so I know that grabbing this guy and picking him up is a lot. However, I had a good rapport moment to moment with that guy. And so I knew, like, I am pretty good at like knowing a line with people. And if I can't read someone like that, then like I might feel risky and do it. But that guy at no point did I think was like offended or bothered or discouraged. I think it was like fun and jovial for him, and the atmosphere felt jovial. And even looking back on it, because I gone to it since like Donnie said it, I was like, was it? And I went back and like, he's cracking up. Everyone's cracking up. And it was crazy for them because I think they recognized it's on camera. So they were in our world. So he was being respectable, and he did that. Just like it's kind of uncomfortable for me to sit on my knees all through dinner, but I did it. Like that was him sitting on his knees for dinner. Was he let this big sweaty fucking Jew pick him up and shake him around in front of all of his employees, who when he walks in the room, they stop talking and lower their heads. And now I'm holding and I'm like, hi.
I hate to break it to you, unfortunately, there's no scenario where you should pick up another man. That's like the most emasculating thing you could fucking do, dude. Picking a guy up and like shaking him around. Like if someone did that
when
to
a
me,
man's when a man's when a man's feet are not touching the ground, he's lost all power.
All power.
Like
that's it.
Like you put him in a high stool. Like any scenario
like, this is the director of the game.
I'm like, this
boss.
is my Final Fantasy now.
Yeah, exactly.
We still got an epic meal put in the game, though, so that was chill. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Binge Eater Podcast, brought to you by Epic Mealtime. Leave a rating, leave a like, a comment. You're all beauties. Trust no one except us, and thank you so much for kicking it.